Okay, so we're gonna be watching this video talking about Core Keeper. I have played Core Keeper. I've not watched this video, but Core Keeper is so fun. Like it is like a mix of Minecraft, Terraria, and like it is like honestly like the closest thing, like the way the leveling system works is the closest thing to like an MMORPG or an RPG that I would love, like the perfect MMORPG. Like the way your skills level up based on like what you do and like what you're wearing, what you're doing, and like all that kind of stuff. Like I like that. Like I like that if I'm mining for 20 hours, I am the pro miner. I am been in the mines. I am the child miner. I am the dwarven. I am the dwarven blood. I am in there, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, enough yapping. We're gonna
Core
watch
Keeper
this.
really upended my opinion on this genre when I first discovered it more than a year ago. I am very picky about my survival crafting games, so picture my surprise when I began a playthrough and, in what felt like a blink, I had carved out a giant cave, made a multi-bedroom estate, had a thriving farmland, and the claimed lives of 3 major bosses under my belt. Yep, it's one of those.
Like look at that thing, bro. These is what I mean, like the Terraria part where you get like these bosses. Like look at the graphics too. Like the art,
This is far from my
stylized
first
art is
video
so
on this
good.
game, and while I do really love Core Keeper, I haven't been afraid to be
Thanks
critical
for
when
the
I needed to be.
follow.
Much of the
Appreciate
issues
it,
I've brought up in past videos, however,
KKT.
have been addressed in the 1.0. Because
Appreciate
I'm a
it.
lot more comfortable with where the game is now than at launch, I'll let you know
Sorry,
that
it's
this
hard to read
video
your
is now
name, so I was like, what the
sponsored by
heck?
Fireshine Games, as in the publisher
But
for
yeah, I
Core
appreciate the
Keeper. But
follow.
don't think for a second that this means the video will be uninformative, as I only accept sponsors from games that I actually play. Turning down that Raid Shadow Legends money was tough, believe me. Core Keeper is available on Game Pass, Xbox Series X and S.
But yeah, like if you guys are to get like one game to play with your friends, your siblings, like whoever, like I'm not sponsored by them. But like this game is so good. Like you get little pets to like fight by your side if you want. Like there's all kinds of different weapons. There's like a huge variety of crafting, the way the animals work. Like I'm pretty sure on my channel you guys have seen me play Core Keeper. I'm pretty sure. I'm 99% sure. Like the only reason I haven't played it more is honestly just because I've had so many games I've had to play. Like I honestly would play this game so much more than I already have. Like I played this game for like 2 weeks straight, but I would play it more. Like it was so addicting, so fun. Like I spent so much time just doing a bunch of building and crap. Like it was kind of wild. I guess I do this. Like I don't know, my life kind of sucks. They banned my Aatrox because that's kind of how I've been playing since I can just play under tower. Okay, whatever.
PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, and of course, Steam. With all of that out of the way,
Like, and you can like build with all this stuff. Like, just look at how good that looks.
let me give you the
Like,
rundown
I remember I built a whole ass throne room in this game. Like, I had a castle, bro. I was a fucking god. I was a god king.
on the gameplay loop, including some stuff that's new
And
to
just
the
the
1.0
farming is
version,
so good
as well as
too.
why it stands out amongst a very competitive genre.
In KCD2, whatever you do as Henry will
Okay,
have
my bad, boys.
consequences.
So I just
It's hard to point to any one thing and say, that's the reason Core Keeper works so well. I could talk about how
Bro,
comprehensive
I remember when we were playing, bro. Dude, we had a railroad system like all around. We built like a whole ass like little subway train station thing for them at our
Core Keeper
base.
works so well. I could talk about how comprehensive its progression is. I
Yes,
could talk about its
so
amazing
good.
house customization,
I'm
or its
glazing so
diverse
hard.
biomes.
Oh yeah, like look at this. This is beautiful right here. Like look at that. And this is not even like the most beautiful biome I've seen in the game. Like this is cool. Like don't get me wrong, but there are way more prettier stuff than like this in
Or
this
its
game.
diverse biomes.
And like look at these. Like these there's like all kinds of different like monsters. Like these are kind of like I would say like these aren't bad, but like these are kind of the less designed ones, I would say. Like these are kind of simpler, but they're still like unique.
Or its snappy combat. So I will. What exactly
of
do you even do in
slimes.
this game? Put simply, You awaken in an underground world with nothing but a handful of supplies. Despite having almost nothing to your name, it doesn't take long before you start unraveling the mining and base building progression loop you've come to
chasing
love
around the
from
little
survival
shroom cap
crafting
guys. Oh
genre.
my god.
Blocks are quickly done away with at first, even without a pickaxe, though you'll get one very soon. Your goals in Core Keeper are mostly self-made, but it does give you a bit more direction than you might expect.
Like, Core Keeper is, like, honestly, like, it is my ideal RPG, not like I don't have anything wrong with the way the game, like, the gameplay is, but like the way the game, would it be gameplay? Yeah, I think it would be gameplay. Is like where, like, it's not like, it's not like an RPG like Skyrim or Dogma or Dragon Dogma or Dragon's Dogma. Why can't I say that today? Jesus Christ. Or like I'm trying to think of other RPGs. I don't know why I'm falling out of blank. Like, like those games like where you're actually like more like in it, like, World of Warcraft and stuff like that. But, not looking like garbage. Like, I'm gonna be honest, anyone who says World of Warcraft, like, the graphics look good, the stylized graphics, by the way, like, they look so bad. They look like they're from the 1980s, bro. They're terrible. 1990s, I guess I should say, if I'm being realistic, but early 2000s, I guess. But either way, which I know that's when the game was made, but they could restyle the graphics. Like, look at League, bro. They, like, restyled it a million times. Like, if you look back at the original League of Legends, let's say me glazing League. I don't like League, but I'm just saying, like, I guess let me reword that. Like, I am not, like, a League fanboy or whatever, but like the point, that's a good example for like how dog shit the game looked and how good it looks now. Like, now it looks, it used to look like a bunch of 3 polygons for each character. Now, like, each character has their own like design. They have like effects, like all that stuff, right? Anyways, point is that even though it's not like one of those games, like the way the progression works, the way that you interact with the world, and the way you have like your own little instances walking around, and like that you can, like, have different interactions with bosses. You can get certain random drops from bosses that like are like actually good. Like, it's not like, oh, I got a random horn from this horn creature, ooh, cool. It's like, no, from the Slime King, you literally got his like baby, and you like, made like an egg from him or something. I forgot what it is. It's like some egg or something, and you basically can like turn it into your own little Slime King you can ride around in the game. And that's like, just an example. Like, I'm just being on, like, I haven't completed the game, but I've played like a lot of it. Like I told you guys, like I was crafting and building a lot in that game. Like, my mining was probably level 1,000 or capped, like whatever the cap was. Like, I was a miner, bro. I was a dwarven prince. But anyways, my yapping.
Considering you spawn directly next to the titular core, which lets you craft special items to locate the game's bosses.
Yeah.
These bosses act as progression milestones that, upon defeat, let you access new continents to gain better gear, housing items, the works. Despite the breadth of freedom the player is given, there's always a tangible goal that keeps you from feeling directionless, which is an
like,
important
you'll always
design
run
choice
into
for
stuff
most
too,
games,
like
but
this
especially
dude.
for survival crafting.
Like, including like, okay, you see how this is just like some random little cave he dug into? Like, that's how the game will be. You'll just be like digging, because you're basically like a little cave dwarf. Like, even though you're not a dwarf, but like you are like just a little cave person, you know what I mean? Like, you're basically. And so you're just like, mining, and then suddenly you come into this room and you're like, oh, what the hell? And there's like 8 fucking guys with spears, and they're all trying to jab you and trying to rip your eyes out and like, sell them to the other merchants, and you're just like trying to run or fight them off, like push them away, throwing fireballs or magic. Like, there's a lot of stuff. Like, dude, the magic, you can blow up freaking bridges in this game. Like, there's a clip, I think, somewhere on my YouTube where like, bro, I was going over the bridge, and my homie freaking shot a fireball at me as like a joke, and it blew the bridge, and I fucking died. Like, it's wild, bro. This game is just like, it's so underrated,
Unlike my
man.
ex, the goalposts in Core
so
Keeper
underrated,
stay
bro.
firmly in place. Because of this, I never felt as if I was completely at a loss for what to do ever.
Yeah.
I never just idled away at my base, or at least that's what I would have said if I didn't get very, very distracted at times.
Exactly.
See, there was a time on my first
like,
save
bro,
file where I was so
stayed
invested
in my
making my
base
house
for
look
like
cool that I
30
put everything on
hours at
hold
least.
just to do that full time. All of my friends
Like,
sped
bro,
ahead
I was
of
doing
me
the
on
same
their
shit
own
this
separate
guy's doing,
save
except
files,
I made
leaving
more
me
of like
clear
a
in the
castle
dust.
design.
And the only thing that made me continue again was the desire to unlock a teleporter for my backyard. I'm sure you've had an experience that relates to this, but Jesus, unlocking that thing for the first time and being able to go directly to the sea biome, hundreds of miles from my house, to begin making my beach house, was a giant treat.
Yeah.
If you take your eyes off another player in your core keeper world
Albion
for merely
Online.
a moment, you'll probably...
Bro, Albion Online, that PvP MMORPG, it's actually pretty good, but it's just like, bro, imagine like, imagine that.
find them making a place to live, and it's understandable.
Imagine
Tile
having that
sets and
name, man.
decorations are very fun to tinker with. Even people in the early game will be
Could
able
be
to
better,
make
though,
different kinds
honestly.
of floor and wall patterns. You can even use paint brushes to change palettes on sprites. Some things like furniture take on whole new designs when painted. It's really cool. Also, there's this thing that lets you punch holes in the ceiling so you can decide exactly where you want
like
the lighting from the surface
tools,
to be.
I guess I should
No
say.
idea how it works practically, but aesthetically, it's a perfect way to top off your designs and have the light just shine in the exact part of the room you really want to look nice and stuff. It's cool. It's cool. By the way, that beach house idea I mentioned earlier is not as relaxing as it sounds. The enemies here are very tough.
Yeah, you gotta build like a security
While we're on the subject of enemies, I should
something
tell you that on the combat front,
Oh my
Core Keeper
God.
feels good. Positioning is key, but
Yeah,
perhaps more
combat
important
is
to your
really
survival
fun
is
for like
preparation.
this kind of style
You
of
can't
game.
just
Like you
charge
wouldn't
in swords
expect it to
blazing
be
for
as
some
like
of these fights.
dynamic
Armor is
and
important,
complex.
of course, but so is taking food
Like not
items
complex
and
as
brewing
in
a couple
hard,
of
but
health
like
potions
complex
to
as
top
in like you don't
yourself
just
off.
run in
The
and
best
go.
food items have some hardy
dead,
buffs
you know what I
that
mean?
can last for minutes. There's thousands of different food recipes in this game,
boss
by the way.
fights
Like,
actually feel
I've
like
yet
boss
to put
fights,
2
unless you're
ingredients in
overleveled.
the food cauldron that didn't result in some
Overgeared, I
unique
guess I should
item.
say.
Preparation doesn't just come in the form of equipment and buffs, though. If you've made an arena
Bro actually just looks like a dreadnought.
in Terraria, you'll know it never hurts to carve out a giant area for yourself before you
always
take
do
on a
that.
big enemy. Before fighting
Like,
the
not
first
even just
major
for
boss, for
enemies.
example, I not only made a lot of room for a fight to commence, but carefully scooped up as much slime as I could to prevent my character from getting slowed mid-fight. Even outside of combat, weapons have unique uses, like this mallet that can clear multiple walls of blocks at once, or this projectile weapon that can shred walls. New to 1.0 are the Mage and Necromancer playstyles, which use staffs and summoning books respectively. These new weapon types start spawning right
Oh, were those new? Damn, maybe I didn't play that long ago. Like, I guess I probably played before, and then I played again when those were introduced.
away, so you don't have to wait until later to try out the new gear. Personally, I liked the summoning books since you're able to juggle them with other weapons, even if you aren't going for a summoning archetype. You can spawn a bat and promptly switch back to a melee weapon, for instance. Skill points can also be earned to increase your weapon attack speed as well as practically every other
mining
feature
level
of the game,
99.
like fishing, farming, and cooking. You'll have to make some interesting decisions, especially regarding combat-related skill trees, since some of these enemies are truly vicious, like these giant grubs that seek out and destroy your torches. Now, if a game taking place primarily underground sounds like an uninteresting setting to you, with nothing but dirt-laden caves and the occasional puddle, you can lay those worries to rest. As you've seen from some of the footage and my scripts so far, Core Keeper is packed with multiple biomes that have culminated over its early access period. From the shimmering green-matted Azeus wilderness to the desolate and dark entrenched forgotten ruins, you won't be starved for adventure by any means. Variety extends beyond just looks. The hive area, for instance, has spikes, acid pools, and even these centipede-shaped creatures that phase through walls.
I don't think I ever got to
dirt
the
biome
acid
is thick
pool area,
with mushroom men and
honest.
submerged in slime, including the king slime of Terraria fame.
Yeah, see, that's what I was
In
talking
addition,
about,
there's
that
also
guy.
sub-areas for each main biome. These are usually surrounded by unbreakable walls, requiring you to engage it in a more traditional dungeon-delving way, which is a nice break from the open-ended exploration. New to 1.0 is an endgame biome that I won't spoil here, but just know you will have to be on top of your preparation game in all the ways we talked about earlier.
Have to be a gamer, guys.
There's no way around it. Core Keeper is a gorgeous game. Its pixel-built characters are adorable. Its biomes are lavish and rife with detail, sometimes unnervingly so. The cherry on top is the reflection and bloom effects. It's really easy for a game to have lighting that doesn't feel consistent with its own art style, especially pixelated art styles. But
yeah, I'm gonna be honest, including with like pixel, like he said, dude, lighting is so key for games. Like so many games just don't have good lighting and like the saturation's off, and the game just looks like booty. Like it just looks like booty. Like it stinks, bro. Like it's stinky ass booty. Like it's so bad. Like I don't know. Oh, I actually might die to this Teemo, guys. Oh, nope, I don't. I'm better. Okay, sorry. Anyways.
It's not the case here. What's in it for you in regards to these biomes? As in, why would you go to these places? Are you really delving through a living hive nest just to get a cool lampshade for your base? No. That's only like a fourth of the reason. There's no place in Core Keeper you'll go spelunking and come back empty-handed. There's always gear, consumables, and, on rare occasions, even permanent upgrades like increased max health for your character. The first time I came across one of these upgrades, I was super stoked because I feel like a lot of the times games with big worlds can very quickly become reduced to just having 3 different collectibles or things to look for.
Yeah, no, that's not how
this
game
that
is.
surprised me are the norm, not the exception in Core Keeper. In addition, there's also giant bosses known as Titans that give you unique powers when you defeat them. Just be sure to not use these at your home because it can end badly. I briefly touched on this earlier, but I feel it bears repeating. I never had a moment where I was in the dark about what to do next in Core Keeper, or how I could improve my home. This genre has games I adore, but I can't tell you the amount of times I am playing one of these things and I am at a loss for a pivotal ingredient to something and couldn't get it unless I consulted a wiki. I could count on one hand the amount of times I had to do that in Core Keeper, and that was before 1.0. The cohesion extends to players just joining your world too. Even if someone joins after you've beaten some of the main bosses, it won't take long for them to feel caught up to speed on everything as long as they have just a little bit of survival crafting game experience.
Yeah,
by the way, electrical systems and automation are usually something I avoid when it comes to these kinds of games, but Core Keeper has opened my eyes. It was a painless process to set up some nice light bulbs in my house or get a drill going so I can start harvesting as much ore as possible. I'm sure people really experienced with redstone and the like can make some crazy contraptions and auto farms or whatever. I'm not here to go nuts with any of that. I am but a humble keeper, but the option is definitely there for those who want to go all in.
That was a good video, man.
Core Keeper is a blessing.
It's not over.
Its locales are teeming with life and mechanics. Its settlements, both player-made and found, are fascinating. And to top it all off, it's playable with 7 other people. Everything I've mentioned prior is bolstered by the inclusion of a friend or 3.
Yeah, see what I mean?
My
like, you just get those
to give the game a
like,
try,
that's so
which means I'm able to arrange my house in any way I'd like. If the red dresser is gone from this room before the video is over, you'll know she found it. Like a new character in its world, it manages to carve out a thriving spot for itself despite the odds. And it's really nice seeing this project
even playing
get
this
off the
alone
ground.
is just
Memories are made
so
in this
good.
game plain and simple, whether it's seeing ore that was precious to you moments ago becomes something
But
you've
definitely
completely
playing with friends
automated,
is like the
running
best
away
way to
from
play
a horde
it,
of
which is
cave
most
with your
games, though.
friends, or putting down the finishing touches on your perfect dream home. It just doesn't get better, man. Core Keeper could comfortably retire as a complete package now, but that is not the plan, as more updates are on the way for the foreseeable future.
This is like the one game, like it's like Minecraft, like the live service is actually good. Like live service, I like it, but I hate it at the same time because there's just, you can't do live service like the way a lot of companies do, where they just do like these annoying battle passes. Like, I'll be honest, I would play a lot more games than I already do because I love variety. Like, I love playing a bunch of different games. If there wasn't just so many battle passes, and don't get me wrong, like, I'm not buying all these battle passes. I don't got the money for that shit. But, like, I'm just saying, like, when I do buy, like, a game for a battle pass, I feel more, you know, obligated to play it, which is the point. So they can drain you for more money, obviously, right? But it's just like, or not more money, more time, right? More time spent in the game. But it's just like, if they just made good patches, like people are going to come back anyways, and then just like, you know, have skins or whatever form of monetization. Like skins can be bad or good, depends. Like an MMO, that skins are not good because like a lot of progression should be based around like armor sets and weapons and stuff and how cool that stuff looks. But like for like Core Keeper, for example, if they want to do like, no, even Core Keeper, you couldn't really do it. I don't know what kind of, I'm trying to think of like expansions. They'd have to do like expansions or some DLC for Core Keeper each time. Like, I'd be fine with that. Like, I have no problem paying for DLCs and shit. As long as they're not, like, 60 freaking bucks. Unless they're worth 60 bucks. But, you know, you get my point. Anyways.
Hardest parts about writing this video was having to pull myself away from the game to continue making this. And now that I've put the finishing touches on this video, I think I'm just gonna chill for a bit and keep cores on my Steam Deck while laying down. Go ahead and click the link in the description to check out the game. Thank you so much to Fireshine for sponsoring this video. It was amazing being able to do this. I hope you all enjoy the game. Thanks so much to you guys, and have a wonderful night. Booba.
Yeah, that was a good video. If you guys enjoyed that, just check him out. He's Boss Door. We'll be putting the link in the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe.